we are back with good old 15 after 15? Are we on 15 right now? Let me count real quick. 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15. Holy crud. 15 episodes of this. That's pretty slappers. Last time was Tesa with I don't have EDH. Last time was Tesa Karloff with good old synergy in creature tokens and death triggers. Let's just get it rolling, see what we have this time. Hopefully something fun and good. Oh, we got two blues. Please. Voice of Duality. I believe this is it Spellslinger? Yeah, is it Spellslinger? My friend had a Veyran deck. Only issue that I had with it was that he took forever to take a turn, and every turn took like 5 hours. Love the man. Not gonna lie though. Yeah, so it's a lot of yeah, triggered ability of a permanent triggers an additional time. A lot of spell slingers. I helped him a lot with that deck. I had a lot of good things in that deck, a lot of enchantments that I was really proud of. Stuff that went off of his power just in case you didn't want to swing him into Death Touch so you could have a wider board. I really am excited to build this because I wanted to build it personally, but I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm creating the same deck that you had. Okay, I could easy squeezy work with this. That's fun. But yeah, we will be back with episode 15 and good old Veyran after we get building. And we got episode 15 with Veyran, Voice of Duality. Last time we had an Izzet commander, it was Grayson, which we didn't really focus on spells, instants, and sorceries. It focused more on pinging. But whenever I cast or copy an instant or sorcery, you get a 1/1 counter, and then whenever if a casting or copying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control, it triggers an additional time. Some amazing triggers. We're going to skip Kirk and just go down the line. We have Deka, making a 0/0 fractal with putting X counters. Young Pyromancer, Third Path, Tolerant, Sahili, Ovika, Murmuring, and Metallurgic, making a bunch of tokens. And then overall form, if it's a targeted spell and you're targeting creature you control, you're going to make a copy of it. Quark the Thumbless is a really good creature here, because if you lose the flip and return it to your hand, it's a cast trigger, and you're still casting it. This is cast. You're going to have all of these, when you're doing the stack, you're going to choose to do every single cast trigger, with Quark being the last, because if you lose the flip, you can send it back to your hand and then play it again. Quark, the Thumbless Man, very good goblin. Very good thing to keep track of here. But yeah, we got some good ramp. We got Goblin Electromancers making spells cost 1 less. Brawl making instants and sorceries cost 1 less. Stormkill and Bergie making mana in a way. Stormkill with making a treasure, and then Bergie with making the red. Bergie and Stormkill are cards you see in a lot of these types of decks with instants and sorceries, along with Goblin, Electromancer. You do have some counter spells, but not a lot. We have some cast it twice. And with Gale specifically, one thing that you need to be aware of with Gale is you're casting the spell from the graveyard, so if the Thumbless sends it back to your hand, you won't have to exile it. It will go just straight back to your hand for you to cast again. And with Ogier, you're going to want to have this one, in my opinion, go after the Thumbless, because when you cast an instant sorcery from your hand, it gains rebound. So just in case it doesn't go back to your hand, you can rebound it and at least cast it from exile without paying its mana cost, which in theory gives it a chance to go to your hand again. I'm surprised with how cheap Ogier was when I was building this deck. And all the Baldur's Gate cards have gone up in price just a little bit. Gale went up in price a little bit. Gale, I think, is very good. I think people overlooked Gale when he first came out, and that includes me. I overlooked Gale's card because I'm not a big instant and sorcery guy. But either way, being able to cast spells twice, whether it be from rebound or from stealing it from your graveyard, amazing. Burn them with casting, dealing 2 damage to an opponent, dealing 1 damage to an opponent, or just dealing 2 damage. Just some very good extra damage for some of these cheap spells that you're going to be throwing out there. Uh, you got 2 nice common cards, and you got an uncommon card with the Ring Tempts you. Ring Tempting Us really doesn't matter. I'll be real with you, not a lot of that in here. Uh, but here we got some cheap spells. We got Brainstorm, we got Consider, Crash Through Ancestors Age, Shadow Rift, Titan Strength, Lightning Bolt, Grape Shot, and Rapid Hybridization. Beautiful cheap spells that, give you a little benefit if you do cast them. Creatures gain trample until I'm turn drawing a card. Target creature gets +2/+0 in first strike, and you're also making a treasure token. Target creature gets shadow and drawing a card. Titan Strength, +3/+1 in scrying. Lightning Bolt dealing 3. Grape Shot having Storm. Rapid Hybridization destroying something. All overall good cards. Getting some extra triggers from the wizards. If you're going to be putting Thrumming Stone in here, I 100% say choose wizards or humans. Whatever one has more in this, I believe it's wizards though. So I think you want to hit wizards with roaming throw. But being able to trigger it at additional time, that equals a lot of tokens from all your wizards. That equals a lot of tokens from uh, overall form. Oops, that popped. I'm playing with a stress ball and it exploded on me. Delightful. Uh, yeah, Roaming Throne, amazing card. One of my favorites from Lost Caverns. And then Harmonic Prodigy obviously helps with the Wizards or Shaman. That needs to be very much noted. It also helps the Shaman in this deck. Uh, what is our end game though? We have Cork the Thumbless, Roaming Throne. What are we doing with all this? You want some lucky flips here. If we're casting Titan Strength, Ancestors 8, or Shadow Rift, and we're losing the flip, we're going to have all the cards on our board trigger, because, they're all cast triggers, not whenever they resolve trigger. And, you're going to be able to make extra creatures with Shadow Rift if you target Stormkiln and Olvar's there. You're going to be making extra Stormkiln, extra treasures, and if you lose the flip, it's going to go back to your hand, so you never really draw a card, but you still target that creature. And then if you have, what's his name? What's her name? Oops. If you have the Zada, you'll copy it upon cast, and then each of those have cast triggers. So it's overall just a very good. Olvar is very good in this deck with a lot of your stuff being cheap target spells that you want to go back to your hand. Up next you saw was Aether Flux Reservoir. You're going to be casting a lot of spells, a lot of cheap spells. So hopefully with that you can gain a lot of life and just vaporize your opponents, hitting them for that 50 damage, and just essentially take him out of the game easy as heck. Obviously you want some backup life just so your opponent doesn't grape shot you or anything, but it's overall pretty obvious and good to have this in the deck. Storming off, if you're casting some of those spells infinitely, through the 1 mana, through some lucky flips, having Thousand Year Storm in here to just have a storm count, to copy it, to have all those cast triggers, you're in the you win. It's this deck. My friend used to have a Veyran deck. Problem was he took an hour each turn to do anything. He'd have he'd have Veyron, a young Pyromancer, and Talrand on board, and he'd take an hour to do his turn just because he's trying to figure out how to play the game. I love the man. He had a great deck, but it just took forever for him to play. But either way, I think this deck probably would be at the top of the board right now. Uh, But yeah, please like, subscribe, comment what you like about the series, comment what you don't like, comment what you want to see, if there's a commander that you want onto the wheel. But yeah, I will see you next time.